Hey guys, you're watching me as New Pair of Glasses, and the topic of today's video is the scam that is pet vaccinations. So we're hearing a lot now about the dangers of human vaccinations, but it is the same, if not worse, for our pets. And we have been conditioned, again, with creative imagery, commercials, and people in lab coats telling us what our pets need over the years, and it has led to dangerous health consequences for our pets and the members of our family that we love dearly. So we're going to talk about the dangers of vaccinations and the big business behind it. I also want to say that this topic is very near to me. I have been a pet owner and I know the pain of losing a pet. My dog died last Christmas under suspicious circumstances, and I had no way of knowing what the cause was because I couldn't afford to have the test done that would have told us what was wrong. I know this issue very well, and it's really important that we get this information out to pet owners so that they can make decisions on what to do with their pet's health. And how do they do this? It is the thread that runs through every issue we face where we're manipulated, and it's fear and guilt. They use fear and guilt to profit off of. So vaccinations picked up in the early 1980s, adding up to 12 to 14 vaccinations in the first 12 to 16 weeks of an animal's life. Included in that was the rabies vaccination push by utilizing the rabies epidemic scare. So, enter Stephen King's Cujo, released in 1983, coincidentally at the same time when they were trying to push the rabies shots for animals, instilling fear in you that your animal could get rabies. Now, also coincidentally, that was the same time the CDC was running out of money and was threatened to be shut down. Pharmaceutical companies figured out they could use the love we have for our pets to profit. So they've used the same fear and guilt campaign to manipulate the public into vaccinating our pets, which can ultimately lead to their early death. We are conditioned that our vets love our animals and would never do anything to harm them, and that we should entrust them with their lives. But unknowingly, people are doing this, not realizing that this is a business. And any business needs repeat customers to survive.
This is my snuggle partner tonight, right? This is my, maybe not, I don't know, she doesn't love me.
And as a result of that misplaced trust, we put our pets at risk of dangerous health consequences, which in turn creates even more business. Domestic dogs and cats today are suffering from an unprecedented and very disturbing epidemic of chronic degenerative disease. Much of it is caused by the very pet vaccinations that are supposed to preserve their health. Veterinarians are charging customers millions of dollars a year for vaccinations that are not necessary, said veterinarian Bob Rogers. Not only are these vaccinations unnecessary, they're causing harm to pets. Vaccination is one of the most hotly debated topics in veterinary medicine today. The reason is because while on one hand we want to protect companion animals from deadly infectious diseases, we are also very concerned with the problems created by over-vaccination. When humans are vaccinated against diseases like measles, mumps, rubella, and DPT, the immunizations given in childhood provide lifelong protection. They are not given again in that child's entire life, much less repeated every year. By the 1980s, like I said, there were 12 or 14 different vaccinations being delivered as combination products. As an immunologist, Dr. Schultz knew that was not a good idea, and vaccinated pets were beginning to develop adverse reactions, so their bodies also knew the combination vaccines were a bad idea. According to Dr. Jean W. Dodds, an eminent vet and researcher, both allergic and autoimmune diseases have been rising since the introduction of modified live virus vaccines. Autoimmune diseases are where the body attacks self. They include cancer, leukemia, thyroid disease, Addison's, Graves' disease, autoimmune hemolytic anemia, rheumatoid arthritis, diabetes, lupus, organ failure, skin inflammations, and more. We have also seemed to have a tremendous number of dogs with behavioral problems, largely due to over-vaccination and processed pet food. Vaccinations are known to cause inflammation of the brain, as well as lesions throughout the brain and central nervous system. The medical term for this is encephalitis, and vaccine's role is acknowledged in the Merck manual. Merck is one of the corrupt vaccine manufacturers. Vaccines cause cancer in cats at their injection site, according to the Journal of Veterinary Medicine. We also talked already about the autoimmune diseases, but epilepsy is also a symptom of encephalitis, which we already know is a consequence of these vaccinations. There's also research that indicates that genetic damage is possible, since vaccinated dogs develop antibodies to attack their own DNA. Research from the University of Geneva echoes this finding. Hearing from yet another vet, Christine Chambreau, said, routine vaccinations are probably the worst thing we can do for our animals. They cause all types of illnesses, but not directly to where we would relate them definitely to be caused by the vaccine. She is not alone in this view. Again, I want to go back to the over-vaccination. Also, according to top researchers and stated by the American Veterinary Medical Association, once immune to viral disease, dogs are immune for years or life. So why are vets and vaccine manufacturers still trying to get us to vaccinate against viral disease every year or even 3 yearly, especially when you consider the risks? Of course, what else would it be? It's the money. According to the Intervet data sheet, dogs will develop permanent immunity to hepatitis over the age of 12 weeks. So why keep vaccinating against that? Kennel cough is easily treated in most cases, and the vaccine isn't very effective, so what's the point? Leptospirosis is rare, and the vaccine is also associated with some of the worst adverse reactions. Isn't this vaccine an acceptable risk then? And parvovirus is, according to the concise Oxford Veterinary Dictionary, rarely a problem for the normal, healthy adult dog. Each individual vaccine triggers a firestorm of activity within the immune system. Vaccinating pets repeatedly like this over time can end up eroding the animal's immune function. Without a properly functioning immune system, an animal is much more vulnerable than it would be otherwise to a variety of health problems. A precious few forward-thinking vets and pet owners are realizing that the excessive numbers of vaccines routinely given to domestic pets are wreaking havoc on their health. These vaccines have the ability to disrupt, dysregulate, and in some cases virtually destroy an animal's natural immune system. From rashes and behavioral issues to seizures and even vaccine injection site tumors, the list of adverse vaccine-related health complications is long and varied. Many people don't make the connection between the administration of a shot and subsequent symptoms. In addition, the veterinary industry often does not acknowledge such a connection. Hence, adverse pet vaccine reactions often go unreported. For these reasons, and because many people have been erroneously conditioned to believe that vaccines are completely safe and effective, there's a serious lack of understanding about the issue of vaccine damage among the general population. Remember, we discussed earlier about the DNA damage. There's been research that has been conducted that there is evidence that vaccines actually cause damage at a genetic level. If true, this means that vaccine damage not only occurs to those pets that are vaccinated, but that such damage occurs to their DNA. It is then passed on to their offspring and so on down the line. Potentially inherited vaccinosis is the plague to future generations as well. Now we're going to talk about the toxic chemical cocktail. One of the reasons why vaccines can cause damage to our pets is because of the toxic ingredients they often contain. Among these ingredients are thimerosal, This is something that contains mercury, an extremely toxic heavy metal. It's also a powerful neurotoxin. We also have aluminum, another heavy metal, and it has been implicated in neurological ailments in humans. We have formaldehyde. It's classified by the EPA as a carcinogen. We have phenol. Phenols are highly poisonous caustic substances from coal tar, viruses, infectious agents, animal organ tissue derived from all manner of animals, including monkeys, rabbits, cows, etc. Does one size fit all? Nope. Many pet owners would be surprised to learn that the dosage contained in one vaccine is the same regardless of the size or weight of the pet. The corrupt system. It is important to understand that routine vaccinations are a source of considerable financial revenue for both veterinarians and pharmaceutical companies. However, vaccinating our pets repeatedly year after year, in my opinion, most definitely is not in the best interest of the animals. What used to be a symbiotic relationship that supported development and research has now turned into a profit-driven scheme to boost prescription profits by influencing the physicians and veterinarians to prescribe particular products. Did you know that major pharmaceutical companies subsidize medical and veterinarian universities with textbooks and tools which shape the students' educational process? Next, I'm going to scroll some of the main animal pharmaceutical companies that are a part of this corruption and create these vaccines. One of the big ones is Zoetis. It's one of the world's largest producer of medication and vaccinations in the world. And this one company out of that list in 2017 reported a revenue of $5.3 billion and a net income of $864 million. So when you have that kind of money, then you get into the lobbyists that create the laws and the requirements of pet vaccinations. You also have the problem if you want to board your dog or take your dog on a flight, the mandatory vaccinations and health checkups, you need to do that. So this whole system is connected in a very corrupt way, and it's driven by the money and the companies that are behind these vaccinations. So in summary, if you are going to choose to vaccinate your pet, make an educated decision of the risks and the system in which you are working with. Ask questions of your vet and use caution. Lastly, what I want to say is this. I've been getting a lot of questions regarding the catastrophe and what the meaning is behind learning this, as far as why you should want to survive into the red sky and what happens after death. These are questions that I've had as well. I don't want to answer them in the comment section or on a video. It is just my opinion and belief, as we really have no way of knowing for sure. So what I've decided to do is, for everybody that's donated, I will tell you what my thoughts are on this issue with all the information that I've learned, not just in the videos, but I've had the opportunity to pick Brian's brain every day for the last over 5 months. So I do have my own thoughts on this, and I will at one point each month give that to the people that have donated, the people that want it. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys, today. Please spread this video. I know it's going to be suppressed, just like my hydrogen peroxide video, my sunscreen video, but I'm just trying to do the best I can and get this out to the people that are listening. So that's all, guys. Everybody stay safe, be good to one another, and as always, God bless.